Alrighty, boys, we are back. The 9th anniversary, as I feel like I've been saying in almost every video at this point, is getting closer. We are a mere days away. And yesterday, I covered a topic talking about which banners you should be summoning on or which banner you should be summoning on first for part 1. Today, I'm going to be covering more of the part 1 content, and in that, I'm going to be talking about the best teams for both of the anniversary LRs. Now, there is one caveat, or two caveats really, that kind of blend into one, so I'm gonna brand this as one little caveat here. Both of these teams and units are missing some of the best characters for their teams during part 1. So just keep that in mind, that these teams that they are on, their absolute best teams are going to get better. The quintessential thing that both of these characters are missing right now is the presence of Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan is absolutely going to make a massive difference for both of these characters, as they both can be ran on his leader skill, so running two of him is going to make life a lot easier for you. So, the best teams for Gogeta. Let's start with Gogeta, because I feel like more people are excited for Gogeta, though I recommend you summon for Broly first. Let's go ahead and look at his teams, right? What are the best teams for this character right here? You can see we have the Movie Heroes team, the Fusion team, the Super Saiyans team, Last Resort, Powerful Comeback, Time Limit, Fused Fighters, Superheroes, Realm of Gods, Transformation Boost, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So, right away, it should be fairly obvious, but if it's not obvious for you, Superheroes is far and away going to be the best team for this Gogeta. But the big caveat, like I said, is they are missing like 5 out of the 6 core units on this team. This UI Goku, we're going to ignore him for now because it's a little bit far away. I don't know when he's coming, so if you're thinking about asking in the comments, the answer is I don't know yet. Beast Gohan, obviously the best unit in the game, is going to be a massive part of this team. The Gammas, they fit nicely on this team. Piccolo, he is here, so one of the core members that you can intertwine, he's going to be on the team very soon. The Blue Evolution Goku, or Blue Evolution Goku, Blue Evolution Blue Vegeta and Kaioken Blue Goku are going to be easying within the next couple weeks, and then maybe even like the next week or so. I forget exactly when that EZA comes out, but we have to wait till part 3 for the 2 other best units on the team, Evolution Blue Vegeta and AGL UI Goku, to come out in order to kind of round out this team, right? But if we're just looking at like a part 1 superheroes build that's kind of like meta, quote unquote, that we are going to use like for part 1 content, I would say that you would want to run the Piccolo leader. We'd have Gogeta on the team. We'd have AGL Vegito Blue on the team. We'd probably have Trunks and Vegeta. The 5-year fusions could work in very well, and LR UI Goku. This is a very LR-centric game now. We have kind of moved to that point where it's kind of like, you know, LRs really are dominant, and the TURs, it's almost never worth summoning for them, I feel like. But Pan is going to be good for this team. She's going to provide support. She's going to have dodge utility. We have the Gammas right here who will work out even better when the Gammas come around. But again, the top end of this team, like this is where, like this is the A team, right? This is like when you hit DEFCON 1, this is the team you bring out, right? Especially when it's at full strength. You know, UI, Beast, AGL UI, Evolution Blue Vegeta, Piccolo, Blue Kaioken Goku Vegeta, like Gogeta himself. Like all of these teams are going to be very important. So I just want to get that out of the way with Superheroes. That is very important because it is the best team in the game, and it is going to be a little bit tricky to run this for Gogeta Blue during part 1. So how are we going to work around that? Well, I'm glad that you asked. I think that the best way to run this Gogeta Blue, at least for the time being, is going to be on the Power Beyond Super Saiyan team. Now, that might sound a little ridiculous, and Super Saiyans as well I'll pull up. Both of these teams, I think, are the best way to run this character. And you're going to be running double AGL Vegito Blue, which is going to be passable for part 1, but then is going to taper off a little bit during part 2, a little bit during part 3, and then but by that time we're going to have Beast Gohan, we're going to have the superhero setup, and everything is going to be fine. But looking at the Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, if we just look at the core kind of staples of the team right away, right? AGL Vegito Blue, Kaioken Blue Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta, the LR Super Saiyan Gods, we have Broly, we have Gogeta, the 5-year fusions are going to be in there, and then we probably have a couple new units that we didn't have in the first place, right? If you want to run the Boo duo, you could run AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You could run Rose in some type of super bosses sort of like look with like Broly or something. I don't think that rotation would work out too well, but like if you're feeling freaky, I guess you could get away with it. Obviously, God Goku is going to be phenomenal. Dragon Fist Goku is decent. Just looking around this team, there's not a ton to work with here, but again, the variety, the different setups that you can run for this team is going to be very important. And one thing that we should also mention while we're on Power Beyond Super Saiyan is the Blue Boys. They are going to be leading Power Beyond Super Saiyan as well as Future Saga. So if the team is a little bit messy, what can we do? if I said Power Beyond Super Saiyan, I meant to say Battle of Fate. We can run units that are on Battle of Fate. Who's on Battle of Fate, you may be asking? I'm glad you asked. Tech Zamasu, who's also going to fit under the Future Saga lead. AGL UI Goku when he EZAs. We have Trunks and Vegeta who are going to fit on this team. We have the 8th anniversary GT duo. Super Saiyan 4 Goku's going to fit on this team. Sword of Hope Trunks if you need an option, right? The EZAs for the 4 years who have fallen off a decent bit. But AGL Gohan, God Goku. Again, you could fit World Tournament Goku on here, who's going to work very well with a revival character like the GT duo. Junior if you're desperate, right? There's so much variety with the Blue Boys lead, and not to mention, they're also a superclass leader. So, when you go over here, they're going to be superclass 150%. So, with them being at 150%, we're going to be able to kind of work with a lot of different things, right? So, if like you need to throw LR Bulma on the team, or like any character that is superclass you can throw on this team because they're going to be getting 150%. Is it the best lead for them? No. Will it work and make things decent? Yes. So, looking at the last one, if you have this Vegeta or the Super Saiyan trio, you could run a funky little team here of like, you know, the Super Saiyan trio, Broly, Gogeta, Trunks, Future Gohan, STR Vegito because they've EZA'd over on Global already, you know, Vegeta. Like, you could run a really nasty superhero team for this Gogeta, and that is also going to tie into Broly. So we kind of covered Broly a little bit in ties with Gogeta, but teams that you're going to want to run this Gogeta on, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Super Saiyans, Movie Heroes is going to work out well, but it's going to be a little bit scuffed compared to like whatever. So I guess we'll look at his 200% lead and then we'll move on to Broly, right? It's going to be very similar to the Superheroes team, but you guys can kind of see the core lineup from it. Look at all these leaders, man. 12 leaders? I did not realize this team had 12 leaders. Holy hell. But like, you know, we're going to be running this guy. We're going to be running Beast. We're going to have STR Piccolo who's going to work on this team. Orange Piccolo. If you're desperate for a revival character, we can run this version of Birdcoo even though he's fallen off. The Super Saiyan trio. 5-year Gogeta. Like, you can see there's a lot of different characters on this team. Dragon Fist Goku, God Goku, the Gammas, Pan, like all different types of options. Pat the Power Kid Goku and Hachan if you want to run that rotation for fun, right? The Movie Heroes team has a ton of variety, and I think that is going to work out very well for you with this Gogeta. So those are all the teams that I'd recommend that you run Gogeta on. We have Movie Heroes, Super Saiyan, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Superheroes are going to be your main setups that are also going to intertwine Battle of Fate and Superclass. So let's move on to Broly. I know that was a lot, but it's going to be, I'll kind of, a lot of the points that I made with Broly are going to stand true with, or for Broly, Gogeta are going to stand true for Broly. So Super Saiyans, we already talked about that. Power Beyond Super Saiyans, we already talked about that. Pure Saiyans isn't going to work as well with Gogeta, but you guys know how Pure Saiyans work. It is a very wide category, right? And this guy is going to work out nicely on Beast Gohan's team, because if we pull up Beast Gohan right here, I can just kind of quickly look at this. His leader skill Broly is going to fit on because he is on Miraculous Awakening, and our boy Broly is on Miraculous Awakening. Now, I don't recommend and don't advise you to run the Miraculous Awakening team purely, but you are going to be able to fit this guy onto Beast Gohan's leader skill, so running him along superheroes and stuff like that, it's going to work out just fine for you. But with this Broly, if we look at some of his teams, Super Bosses, this is a team, again, like we talked about earlier with the superhero setup, this is going to be a team that actually works out a lot better than you might think. This was a team that kind of got clowned on during the anniversary, rightfully so, because there wasn't a ton of options. But since the anniversary has come out, we've seen a lot of different buffs for this team, and we're starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, this is respectable, right? We have Broly. Whenever Cell Max comes out, we're going to have Cell Max, and Cell Max, guys, he is crazy. Like, we're talking top 5. Zamasu, Rose, the Broly trio can look a little inconsistent at times, but it's still a solid unit. We have Topo, who you can run on this team, but he is a little special pose restricted, right? This banner unit, Frieza, very good. The Kefla EZA you can run with somebody. Some units that are a little bit mid, but can be used situationally. You know, we have Zamasu, we have Broly. Kale and Caulifla you can run, right? Int Fusion Zamasu. AGL Kale and Caulifla's EZA. Not for 9th anniversary content, but you guys get the idea, right? The free-to-play LR Beerus that you can farm up in EZA is going to have a taunt. It's going to have all kinds of fun stuff that's going to be a good defensive unit, one that can kind of fill out this team for you if you pull Broly. This is a solid team that's 1 or 2 pieces away from being one of the better ones in the game, right? And I think this is going to be one of the best teams to run Broly on because of the the top-tier power creep options that you have with this character, right? There's also a good chance that we are going to be seeing another Jiren coming out during Part 2 of Tanabata for JP. So that's going to be another unit that we can add to the short list for Super Bosses that's probably going to look decent, right? This free-to-play Frieza that's coming, the Zamasu banner unit, we have Kale. there's a bunch of different characters that you can run on the super bosses. They're not all the best, right? I listed a couple polar bears in Arlington, Texas, but it works, right? Like, there's a lot of different characters for this team, I think, that are going to work out just fine. So, super bosses, this is going to be one of the best teams for Broly, but there's a really good thing about this leader skill. It is very wide. Transformation boost. This is going to be a decent team. Full power is okay, but again, you're going to find yourself running Beast Gohan on that team, so it's better that you kind of just flip it and run 2 Beast Gohans. So we're not going to look too much into full power, but let's look into Transformation Boost, right? I don't know if I can find it. Transformation Boost is going to be a decent team as well, because this is going to give you a bunch of different options that have a wide variety, right? This is going to give you a Broly. You can run Gogeta. When LRUI Goku runs out, you can run LRUI Goku on this team. You can run the Super Saiyan trio if you need to. We've got Orange Piccolo, who's going to be good for AoEs. Buhan's EZA. The LR Gods. We have Cooler that you can kind of work with. Golden Frieza in short bursts, right? This version of Buu right here, who's a demon, right? This version of Vegeta, Hirudegarn, 21, right? You know what I mean? This Frieza. I'm kidding. God Goku, right? Kale, all kinds of different characters that are going to blend very well on this team. And Transformation Boost, I think, has some decent variety for you, right? It has a lot of different characters that you can run. It has a lot of different setups. It is going to work out very nicely, in my opinion. So there you have it. I think these are going to be some of the best teams you could run Broly and Gogeta on. Again, movie bosses is like okay. Super Saiyans is great. We talked about that one. Miraculous Awakening, decent. Pure Saiyans is just a little bit too wide to talk about. I can briefly bring it up. I guess God Goku's leader skill, it'll work out just fine for, but that is about it, right? When you look at these leaders, there's not much to work with here. So that's why I don't really highly recommend this team. And you're also missing out on Gogeta on this specific setup. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If I missed anything, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, so if anybody's confused, they can read it and they can also learn that information as well. I appreciate your guys' time. I hope you're excited for the anniversary. We're going to be having content coming out throughout the whole thing. Every single day, we're going to have uploads over on this channel. So I appreciate your guys' time. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.